Good morning, Warrior. Today we're going to be talking about why it's so hard to lose fat during the winter and what you can do about that. What you can do about this. So, in case you didn't know it, this is Coach Bill here. WarriorResults.com, where I help husbands/men. I guess you don't have to be a husband, or if we may help you gain weight, lose muscle. Gain weight, lose muscle. That would not be very, very difficult to do. Sorry. Gain muscle, lose fat, get abs, look good naked, and help fix your MDD. Your fitness MDD stands for motivation deficit disorder. I help out with that because that's something I used to struggle with. So this is Wisconsin, in case you didn't know it, and it gets cold during the winter. I'm up in the middle Midwest in Wisconsin here. It gets pretty cold during the winter. Right now it is 11 degrees according to the car thermometer. It is not a good time to be burning fat, to be cutting, to be losing weight. Here's why. So first up, it is cold. So you obviously you can't. If you're listening to this on the podcast, you can't see it, but occasionally you see some trees right here, right in the background. During the winter, like the tree is still alive, but it's in winter mode. It is in hibernation mode. Like the leaves fall off of it, it like bundles up and everything like that. It's still alive, like it's still a tree, but it's not in the tree that we think of the sense during like spring, summer, and then fall. It's like basically it's getting ready, fall, like the leaves are falling at that point. So it is like a different version of that tree each season. Our bodies, especially being mammals, we're very much the same. Not as much as that tree, but our bodies go through different shifts during the seasons. And we're up against thousands, depending on who you talk to, maybe millions of years of evolution, where when us humans died. So the biggest threat to our survival, to staying alive, was winters. The biggest threat. That's where food was scarce. Remember the story of the grasshopper and the ants? I think they made a movie about that. Was it not Bug's Life? What was the other one? Maybe, is it the Bug's Life? Is that the one where the ants do all the work, right? And the grasshopper like just sloughs off during the winter. They're like stockpiling all the food for the winter in order to make it through the winter. Like us humans are very much similar to that, where prior to this year, 2020s, where probably 2021, 2022, you're listening to this, we don't really have, that's not a big problem, especially if you live in a developed country like America here. But during the winter was when we died out. So we're up against thousands of years of evolution of our bodies basically geared up themselves for winter. So every calorie you take in, our body hoards that, collects that. Like, oh, I'm not letting this go. No way, I'm not letting it go. Do you know anybody that's like really, really like cheap, lack of a better word, about money? Like every cent is like guarded and protected. Every dollar is like, oh no. I had this, is the dad of a girlfriend that I used to have. And he was so cheap. It was like cheapest on top of cheap. He would drive across town. This is how like dumb cheap he was. It didn't go well with that girlfriend, so I don't feel bad talking about the dad. And the dad's kind of a bleep hole, so I don't feel bad talking about him. But there was like gas that was like 2 cents cheaper on the other side of town. And he would drive across town in order to get to that place to get gas 2 cents cheaper. Meanwhile, it was like, I just burned up probably that 2 cents going across town, but that's how cheap he was. Like it didn't register like that. All it hit was like, oh, it's 2 cents cheaper. Gotta go there. He went out of his way to go to that gas station because it was 2 cents cheaper. That's how our bodies are towards calories towards fat during the winter. Like every calorie you take in, it just holds on tight to it, not letting it go. So as soon as you start trying to burn fat, as soon as you start trying to cut weight, like it makes it really, really hard. It's like swimming uphill, swimming against the current uphill. And then, so here's another reason. And then like with like weights and like ankle weights and like backpacks full of weight against that. It's like, ugh. It's possible. It's just like really, really, really hard. This is, I have no idea that this is actually like truth and science at all or something like that. I think you could probably debunk it, but it's just like, just logically, and then just what I've observed. I don't know if it was, I can't give you any different studies or science this or science that to actually like prove it, but this is just kind of what I've picked up over the years. All right, so that's how our bodies are now, right, during the winter. Add to that the fact that it's holiday season, right, November, December, and then January. You add to that copious amounts. So that's what's going on internally with our bodies. Now you got the external factors of there's just a lot of calories coming in. There's a lot of like parties, there's a lot of get-togethers during January. I don't know how it is with you, but like the last 2 weeks of December and then like every entire weekend in January is filled up with like get-togethers, parties, Christmas this, Christmas that. I'm married, so that kind of like doubles our family size. And then my wife's parents are divorced, so that doubles it again. So it's like boom, 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 boom. My parents are still together. They're still married, going on 35-ish, 40 years. I think they're over 40 years now. But then we still got my mom's side and my dad's side, that sort of like parties and get-togethers. I don't know how, then you got work parties, you got just like everybody's in a giving mood. Seems like every place I go to, they're all giving out Christmas cookies. Our neighbor just gave us a huge thing of Christmas cookies last week. I was so happy about that. Like, here you go, Merry Christmas. Like, it's just kind of that season, right? It's the best. I think it's the best part of the year. I don't know about you, but I love holiday season. So you add to that, now you got a whole bunch of like increased supply of calories coming in. And so we got it really difficult on 4 fronts. Okay, so we got 2 down. Hold on, let me see what this truck's doing. Cool, good driver right there. You saw him in my rear. Okay, number 3 is because it's winter. This is another external factor. Our activity is usually down. Like, we're not out and about. We're in that hibernation, resting, recovery type mode, that sleepy type recovery. Like, we're not out and about just going for walks. I'm not biking as much. I don't like being out in the cold, so I'm not biking anywhere. Usually the summers I'm doing all that. Excuse me. So yeah, that part to it, again, it makes it really difficult. Now you got your 4th level, and this is, I don't want to say it's the worst, but it's very overlooked. We're very, very stressed around this part of the year. Like, there's just a lot to do. There's a lot to get prepared for. And anytime stress acts like a homewrecker towards our body. Like, anything you got going on, like, stress just boom. Your body's like can handle a little bit of stress, and then when it goes over, makes it, your body really hangs on to fat during the stress. I thought there's the one company that basically, like, they brought, I forget the name of the company, but they're selling some stress pill, and because it lowered cortisol, and they basically, cortisol is the enemy. It's the world's biggest culprit for fat gain because you're stressed. They basically brought that word cortisol to the mass public by educating us, and that was their whole shtick. That was their whole spiel. Was stress is bad. Stress tells your body to hang on to fat. You can't burn fat if you're stressed. That sort of thing. I forget the name of the company. I remember seeing like the infomercials for it. So, but it's true. It's true. They're not wrong in what they're saying. Cortisol, when your body's stressed, it just hangs on to fat. And do you want to know why? Should we get into a little science background because of that? It's actually what we're talking about first with evolution. So the only time your body was stressed before was during starvation winter times. So that equaled stress to your body. So your body basically, it has like, you ever heard the phrase like to a nail, to a hammer, everything is a nail or something like that? Like that's your one way to like fix everything is boom, 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 boom. Let me see if I can fix this with that. Your body's version of fixing stress is to hang on to fat, because for years that was like the biggest stress, the biggest like source of stress, for your body was starvation in winters, because it was a big deal. Like if you didn't make it through the winter, so our bodies have learned to like, oh, I'm stressed, gotta hang on to weight. I'm stressed, hang on to weight because of that cold, because of that. The winters, the stress has, like, the meaning of stress and the sources of stress has changed, but to every problem, if your problem is a nail and all you have is a hammer, like everything's a nail. I don't know how that phrase goes, so I should have practiced that more. I apologize. So that's what's going on, my friend, my warrior friend. Your solution to it. So what does this all mean for you? Solution to it is to basically lower your expectations. Like, I'm a Packer fan, as you can tell. Hopefully you know by now I'm a Packer fan. Basically, like, the Packers, the last week's game they played, they won by 1 point. Okay, it'll still win, but they won by 1 point. That's kind of what you got to do through this holiday season. Like, you got to, like, just focus on winning by 1 point. Like, if you maintain that winning ugly, they usually call that in sports. If you, like, if you get through December, January, and you're about the same from the previous, that's winning, okay? Do you want to, like, manage your calories coming in? There's things you can control. Control the things you can control. Calories coming in, depending on your activity, can't do much about that. I would switch to, as soon as possible, doing resistance type training, doing strength training, bench press, squats, pull-ups, deadlifts, in that like 6 to 20 rep range, because and then break that muscle down, because then your body has a purpose for all those calories coming in. Like you combine like, let's say you eat a cookie and you have some protein with it, add a piece of chicken, boom, your body just learned to make new muscle. Your body use those calories to make new muscle. When you're strength training, you give your body about a 500 to 1,000 calorie basically gap, margin of error. Like you don't have to be perfect. Like, it gives you a lot of wiggle room, margin for error, like to call it. So, hey, this is a good episode. Threw a lot at you. Hope you got some worth out of it. Hope it helped you out. I am running to Farm and Barn right now. I gotta go pick up some cat litter and some cat food. We got cats at our dog boarding place. We're a dog and cat boarding business that we own, as well as couple others, and I gotta go pick up some kitty litter. Apparently Farm and Barn is the only place to get this style of litter for that good a price, so I gotta make a special trip up to Farm and Barn. What else can you do? Yeah, basically just lower your expectations, win ugly, just try to get through it, gain a little muscle if you can, use these extra calories, use this time, and really kind of use this time to recover, to rest, to focus on sleep, rest, recovery. Kind of like those trees that we talked about at the beginning. Like kind of know, like, this is your downtime. This is your off. Like, every sports has an off season for the most part, right? You got on season, off season. You just kind of use this as a rest and recovery type place. Cool. All right, hope that helps, warrior. We'll catch you later in the next one. You stay awesome. Love you lots more later. Oh, remember, your awesome future awaits. Bye for now.